Down to the shop, just servicing the saw. I gave it a good cleanup on the teeth. I did have a little bit of sand and gravel on one of the trees. And using the steel 2-in-1 sharpener. It's pretty straightforward and foolproof, and it makes a difference, definitely. When you're cutting a lot of wood and you don't have a good chain, a sharp chain, you're going to be working a lot harder, that's for sure. Thanksgiving weekend, Monday morning. Got a pretty exciting day here. Yep, we're getting firewood, believe it or not. But you know, it's pretty sunny out, and Monica offered to come in the backcountry and help me with a load, so that's good. Two people can deal with a lot more, a lot quicker. It's a little safer, especially if I got some trees that are questionable that I've been walking away from. And Monica's pretty strong. She can handle this. She doesn't run a saw, but she loads the wood and gathers the wood and chucks wood just like I could. And that all rhymed. So we actually took a few things out of the trailer. Some of the stuff we usually have in case we stay the night, so there's a bunch of stuff missing, but that's okay. There's a little bit in there, yeah. And so yeah, we'll be able to get a fuller load. A fuller load? Bigger load? Something. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. Not really. Hopefully it won't be too exciting, but we'll get in the backcountry a little bit. And yeah, it's pretty cold today, actually. Fresh, I would say.
Nice.
Very fresh.
No, wait.
Oh, the dogs are so excited they can't wait. Alrighty, let's roll. We're back in the spot we came before. I have my eye on this one that's hung up in the canopy. Gonna have another look at this. Okay, there's a few choices in here. I've got this one here too. And it's hung up, of course. It's hung up in here, but not very much. So I think I'm gonna get the cable on this guy and give it a tug. Got the strap on this thing. Not sure how this is gonna go at this point. What we're trying to do is just get it to clear the crown that it's hung in. And it might just fall over. Not counting on it, but we've got enough cable and we're fairly clear. Out of harm's way. Okay, so that's moved a little bit. Let me reposition here. Let's give this a bit of a pull, see where she goes. Heads up! Heads up! It's coming down exactly where I wanted it to. There she goes! Going to get hung up on something else, but she's mostly down. It's not hung up too terrible. We might be able to push it out. If not, I'll give it another tug. Missed recording it, but some rocking back and forth with Monica here. Did the job. She's down in the perfect spot. We've got two logs here. We'll pull these out together. That shouldn't be a problem. That's almost all the cable I got on the Jeep, actually. It's not that much. But it beats walking over there, carrying all the wood to the trailer. So I'm going to attempt to bring him in to pretty close to where Monica is. Line in. All right, clear. I'm hopefully going to just swing them over a little bit and pivot on that other smaller tree. It's going to be a bit of a crunch fest, I think. Got some resistance happening now. Jeep's in a good spot. Got some good blockage right there. Don't think I can pivot the rest around, so I may have to go in and cut. I think the main reason I had all that pressure build up because the lower log here, it's pinned against this one. So I'm going to just remove that lower log. I've carefully cut that lower log, keeping a close eye on the pressure. There was pressure on it. And I've notched it here, so it should push through. Yeah, the cable's hooked up, but there's no tension on it. It may look like it, but it's just the weight of the cable, no tension. That should really come out. I don't think it's gonna be much of a problem here. All right, clear, pressure on. Yeah, I mean, that's where the winch pretty well stalled out, right here. So that definitely did something in our favor. I think we'll clear that tree now. How to go over there and give it a bit of a kick. Yeah, looks good. That one is pretty long. The tail is still in the... Come on, you can do it. No, I'm gonna bring it. Let the winch cool down for a sec. I just gotta get that crown to either snap off or clear. One more little pull. Digging in the dirt a little bit. We're doing okay. Okay, let's buck her up. Hey Andrew, is that what you're talking about, man? The dream life. Let's have a beer. I ended up falling a tree over at that one that's really hung up. Actually, I dropped one. It fell in the perfect position, so that's not a big deal. I just moved the Jeep because the one I fell ended up hanging up on the other one that's hung up. So this is going to be interesting. So the bigger one was there already, and I took one from behind it, and I had angled it over about 10 more feet to miss that. Well, that didn't happen. Of course it would get hung up. And the one that's hung up real good. So, it's just a shitty angle to pull any of these, but I'm gonna give it a try. So now we got an even bigger problem. The spool all rat's nested in here. There's a little loop that got all stuck, and it's just has a lot of tension on it. Trying to get that little loop to slip through because the cable is not able to spool out or spool in. We've tried to free spool it. We've got it to a tree, but man, yeah, there's so much force on it. Even the Jeep couldn't free spool it. So we're extremely lucky and actually got that rat's nest undone. There's a big loop that was holding everything up. So, but the whole spool is messed up now. So we're gonna just start over. We're gonna pull the rest out. Big ugly loop in there. All right, I'm backing up the Jeep. I've got the winch engaged, but I'm not gonna winch it at this point. I'm gonna give it a good tug with the Jeep. Monica's gonna watch the top and see if there's any positive movement. Ready? All right. Is it just dragging it toward me?
It didn't move much.
All right.
It moved more at the top than the bottom.
Yeah. I think from here we're going to do the winching. It's going to be a bit more precise. Cable on. I'm going to winch it. So the tree is sliding sideways. That might not be all that bad either. Let's stay clear. Let's get some pressure on this. I was really hoping that thing's gonna break. So,
Pretty strong.
yeah, something's gonna spin around and bust here any second. Clear. So I'm gonna take the Jeep. I'm gonna take it over in this area. We had to completely reposition the Jeep. Not a big deal, but I had to leave the trailer. I had to get the trailer off. It's just too hard to maneuver around. Monica's at the tree in question. We're gonna hook up to the bottom butt of it and drag it toward me and use that big tree as a pivot. Well, let's hope this works, because we're kind of running out of time and patience. The cable took a shit kicking. Alright, so I gotta get out of harm's way here as much as I can. Motherfuckers, I'm getting both! Yeah, baby! Suck it! Nice. We're getting both. That's awesome. Okay, that cut was actually pretty dangerous. So right here is where the log was at an angle. It was sitting this way. So I took the short butt and I stayed with it, which was good. I knew it was just gonna drop. There wasn't any pressure on it. But the rest, it had so much pressure on it that it swung around probably a good 60 degrees. So both trees actually, well, actually not both, but the one I was cutting swung around to the other one. So, but now they're both down. This is awesome. This is the best case scenario. But if I was standing 5 feet over, I would have been on the ground. So always look at the tree and the pressure and the rotation it's gonna go. You know, you can do all the math you want. You might not always get it right, but man, this is a good scenario of just pay attention. I know when I was cutting, it was starting to bend, so I knew I had pressure, so I stood on the right side off the pressure point. Yeah, that's that. But it's always a learning lesson too when you do this kind of stuff. I mean, I'd rather not do this kind of cutting and winching. It's just it's a different level of risk. Okay, that's a wrap. I just ran out of fuel. The jerry can is down here at the bottom.
Sorry.
That's where it stays. All right, the winch is fixed. It's spooled back in okay. Cable's kind of ugly, but that happens when you do a lot of use on it. Okay, so there's a little bit left. I want to come back in here anyways and do a cleanup. There's a few more logs that are half decent. So that's where the mess was, way up high. That's gone and it's in the trailer. And it is awesome. Seasoned wood, so this is good to go. Good job, sweetheart.
A lot of wood.
Gotta keep cozy, you know?
It's gonna be -1 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, actually we got frost warning, so we've been burning pretty well every day now. So we're gonna be doing that till May or June.
Come on, you guys.
We're good. Should be a uneventful way out. Let's hope.